अस्सलाम वालेकुम फ्रेंड्स, कैसे आप सब लोग। वेलकम टू वीलॉजी भारतीय शो। इस वीडियो में हम लोग अपने क्विज की तैयारी करेंगे। हमारा आज क्विज है जो PIR 101 का। उसकी आज लास्ट डेट है तो उसकी तैयारी कर लेते हैं और फिर उसको अटेम्प्ट कर लेंगे। ठीक है, चलो जी। अब हमने इसका सिलेबस है वो कवर किया हुआ है 66 तक। इसके टॉपिक सारे देखते हैं कहाँ से लेकर 66 तक आ रहे हैं, 26 से 66 तक। ठीक है, सो इसको बैक कर लेते हैं और इसकी जो है ना स्लाइड्स या हैंड आउट्स वो डाउनलोड करके इनको पढ़ लेते हैं। सो इसको डाउनलोड कर लेते हैं। इसको इसका 26 नंबर टॉपिक से 66 तक पढ़ेंगे। सही है, डाउनलोडिंग में इतना टाइम लगता है। डाउनलोड होने का वेट कर लेते हैं। हो रहा है, हो जाएगा इंशाल्लाह। सो फ्रेंड्स, ये हो रहा है डाउनलोड। तो इसके पहले सबसे पहले वाला स्टेप था का सिलेबस कवर करना। उतना सिलेबस हमारा कवर है। उसके अलावा आप लोगों ने अगर वो वाला सिलेबस देखना है तो मतलब कि वो वाले लेक्चर्स देखने हैं तो आप लोग मेरे चैनल पर जाकर देख सकते हैं। उसके अलावा ये दूसरा स्टेप है। स्टेप पे हम हैंडआउट्स पढ़ेंगे। जितना भी सिलेबस है हमारे क्विज के लिए उसके हैंडआउट्स पढ़ेंगे। ये स्टेप बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। मेरी नज़र में सारे स्टेप्स इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर हम सारे स्टेप वाइज नहीं चलेंगे तो हम कुछ ना कुछ मिस कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, और उसके अलावा मैं आप लोगों को कहूँगी कि बल्कि मैं बताती हूँ कि इसके बाद हमने क्या क्या करना है। इसके बाद हमने क्विज़ के लिए MCQs से क्विज़ की तैयारी करनी है। सबसे पहला स्टेप इसके बाद जो है ना, इसके बाद वाला जो स्टेप है वो होगा MCQs की तैयारी। MCQs की तैयारी पहले हम वहाँ से करेंगे जहाँ पर प्री और पोस्ट असेसमेंट है, उनके MCQs की तैयारी करेंगे। और आप लोगों को पता है MCQs की तैयारी जब हम करते हैं तो फिर MCQs को अपने नोटपैड पर या कॉपी में या कहीं भी लिख लेते हैं। उसको आप कॉपी में लिख रहे हैं तो आप लोग MCQs को लिखेंगे ऊपर उसका क्वेश्चन या तो बैक साइड पे उसका आंसर लिखना है या नीचे उसका आंसर लिखना है। ठीक है, उसके अलावा अगर आप लोग नोटपैड्स पर लिख रहे हैं तो वहाँ पर एक साइड पर क्वेश्चन, दूसरी साइड पर आंसर। अगर आप लोग फ्लैश कार्ड्स पर लिख रहे हैं उस पर भी ऐसा ही होगा, एक साइड में क्वेश्चन दूसरी साइड में आंसर। और स्टिकी नोट्स पर अगर आप लोग लिख रहे हैं तो उसमें भी आप लोग यही करेंगे कि एक साइड में क्वेश्चन दूसरी साइड में आंसर। ठीक है, सो आप इस तरह के आइडियाज़ अपना कर देखिएगा, आपको बहुत फ़ायदा होगा। बिकॉज मुझे तो बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ। अब मेरी कोशिश है कि मैं इस क्विज़ की भी तैयारी अच्छे से कर लूँ इंशाल्लाह। ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर दिस क्विज़। हमने फिर सबसे पहले अपनी रीडिंग कर लेनी है। उसके बाद इस हैंडआउट्स की रीडिंग के बाद हम लोग जो है वो अपना MCQs करेंगे वहाँ से पोस्ट और प्री असेसमेंट से। उसके बाद वाली वीडियो में हम लोग MCQs करेंगे यूट्यूब से। ठीक है, बस वही आखिरी स्टेप होता है यूट्यूब वाला। यूट्यूब से पर जो भी वीडियोस होती हैं उनको उठाकर वो वाले MCQs हम लिख लेते हैं अपने पास। ठीक है, उसके अलावा फिर वहाँ तक हमारे काफ़ी कुछ फेमिलियर हो जाता है, काफ़ी कुछ जहन में बैठ जाता है। और उसके बाद फिर हम क्विज़ अटेम्प्ट करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, अल्लाह खैर करेगा, अच्छा हो जाएगा। ठीक है, सो करते हैं फिर, ये जैसे ही हो जाता है फिर आगे चलेंगे। इसको दोबारा से पॉज करके रिज्यूम करते हैं, शायद थोड़ा स्पीड तेज हो जाए इसकी। सो जब तक ये होता है हम ये देख लेते हैं कि ये देखिए जनाब, ये मेरा चैनल है। यहाँ पर आकर आप लोग को मैंने बताया था ना कि मैंने इसका सारा सिलेबस भी कर लिया है। बाकी वीडियो 401 का भी तकरीबन सारा ही हो गया, उसका 60 अपलोड हुए हैं ना लेक्चर्स, 40 तक तो हो गए इंशाल्लाह, बाकी के भी आज कर देंगे। और इसके अलावा ये देखिए आप लोग सारे हुए हुए हैं इसके, ये देखिए BIF 101 के 66 तो 61 थे, यहाँ तक 66 पूरे हो रहे हैं। और सही है। और हो जाइए अल्लाह करे जल्दी। बस ये जनाब हो गया है कंप्लीट, अभी हम इसे खोल कर पढ़ लेते हैं बस। हाँ जी, तो हमने जाना है सीधा सीधा अपने टॉपिक नंबर 26 पर। ये रहा है हमारे पास, और थोड़ा जूम कर लेते हैं इसको, ठीक है। अब इसको पढ़ लेते हैं। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। इंट्रोडक्शन टू बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स, और इंट्रोडक्शन टू बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स टाइटल भी यही है कोर्स का, और ये टॉपिक का नाम भी यही, ठीक है। सो मॉड्यूल नंबर 26 है हमारे पास। बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स इज एन इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी फील्ड mainly involving molecular biology and genetics, computer science, mathematics and statistics. Data intensive large scale biological problems are addressed from a computational point of view. The most common problems are modeling biological processes at the molecular level and making references from collected data. सही है क्या? So, motivation. Bioinformatics is becoming a popular science due to several reasons. It is an interdisciplinary field as it covers the information of biological digital information, including human, plants, animals, and microorganisms. Although it is a new field, but it is rapidly developing field. It demands a very low cost in infrastructure and hardly any lab equipment. As bioinformatics data concerns a wide range of species such as humans, plants, and microorganisms, it presents us with plenty of opportunities in scientific discovery. ठीक है. Scope of bioinformatics. Bioinformatics primarily deals with digitalized biological information as well as data reported from biological experiments. Computational methods, data processing techniques, and algorithms are employed in addressing the following issues: storing of data, organization of data, and analysis of many experiments for representation of biological information. सही हो गया. Bioinformatics is the application of computer technology to get the information that's stored in certain types of biological data. ठीक है. Bioinformatics provides central globally accessible databases that enable scientists to submit, search, and analyze information. ठीक है. It offers analysis software for data studies and comparisons and provides tools for modeling, visualizing, exploring, and interpreting data. The main goal is to cover a multitude of complex data into useful information and knowledge. Bioinformatics approaches are used to understand the function of genes, the regulation of cells, drug target selection, drug design, and disease. Without quantitative analysis of the massive amounts of biological data generated by various systems, biology and omics data cannot be interpreted or exploited. सही आगे चलते हैं. So activities यहाँ पर है डिपार्टमेंट. सॉरी ये तो नहीं पढ़ना पाना. अच्छा, उसके बाद है हमारे पास इंट्रोडक्शन टू बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स BIF 101. In modern biological species, bioinformatics is used for activities such as developing algorithms for organizing data collected from experiments, writing software and tools for data analysis, data processing to determine the role of underlying biomolecules, statistical evaluation of data using methods such as t-test and ANOVA, data visualization for meaningful presentation of biological information. Conclusion: in Pakistan, the field of biology is undergoing a rapid change due to the onset of bioinformatics. New research and educational programs are being constructed, which is opening new door of opportunities for our future generations. ठीक है. Need of bioinformatics, ये हमारा मॉड्यूल नंबर 27 है. ठीक है. नीड फॉर बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. आवर बॉडी इज मेड अप ऑफ ट्रिलियंस ऑफ सेल्स. ठीक है. अकॉर्डिंग टू ह्यूमन जीनोम प्रोजेक्ट, द नंबर ऑफ जीन्स इन ईच सेल इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 20,000. दिस माइक्रोस्कोपिक सेल हैज एन ultra microscopic commanding center called nucleus in which DNA is packaged. The number of nucleotides is approximately 3 into 10 raised to power 9. That much enormous data in a cell. How could we access this data? Analyze this data. Here comes the use of computers. We developed and use computers for the same purpose: efficient data storage, retrieval, and analysis. With the advancement in sequencing technology, each day thousands of nucleotides of different organisms are sequenced and submitted to the databases worldwide. In bioinformatics, the use of computer is same as previously, but the data is biological data. ठीक है. The letters of life. Actually we are now facing an information loads of sequence data, but the real challenge is to make sense of this data. ठीक है. उसके बाद है हमारे पास listed are some of the major needs of bioinformatics: to store and retrieve biological data to analyze the biological data like sequence patterns, to interpret biological data, to predict 3D structure of biomolecules, to construct evolutionary trees that help us to find ancestry of different organisms. So, if we look at the pace of development in bioinformatics, then we can easily observe that from years 2000 to 2015, the number of online tools for processing genomics and proteomics information are rapidly increasing. This is just a reflection of the need for bioinformatics in modern day biology. The field of bioinformatics and computational biology is characterized by a highly diverse confluence of traditional academic disciplines. Informatics and bioscience are the umbrella terms given to a set of allied disciplines which make up the field, but a much larger array of traditional areas contribute to the set of tools needed by individuals training for this new and expanding interdisciplinary field. Biomedical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, computer science, applied mathematics, genetic biology, anatomy and cell biology, microbiology and biostatistics are the principal allied disciplines. इसके बाद में conclusion. The need for bioinformatics is on a rapid rise as biological data is rapidly increasing and becoming available online free of any cost. ठीक है. Model number 28 है need for bioinformatics too. If we observe the growth of the gene bank, then from 1982 it comprised of 2 billion base pairs, but by year 2002 it had risen to 56 billion base pairs. With the data in our hands, there is an urgent need to interpret this data. For instance, analysis of this data can help us in developing an understanding of the phylogenetic tree of life, which consists of bacteria, archaea और eukarya. सही हो गया. Towards exploring the possible benefits of using bioinformatics, one needs to answer the following questions. What is it that bioinformatics can deliver? The simple answer to that bioinformatics is provides us better understanding of life, evolution, molecular mechanism as well as disease. Moreover, we can make better drugs with the availability of an enhanced molecular understanding of disease. सही हो गया. इसके बाद में है possible contributions. It can help us to organize the large databases from new experiments, instruments. Bioinformatics can help store and process this data as well. It can provide insights into the meanings of our research results and findings. Overall, it can help us to better understand paradoxes defining the life forms. Conclusion is from gene sequencing to protein sequencing, bioinformatics is providing us with an improved understanding of the genes, proteins interaction and signaling pathways involved in biological functioning and diseases. ठीक है. उसके बाद में हमारे पास आया मॉड्यूल नंबर 29, एप्लीकेशन ऑफ बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. सो देयर इज अ ट्रिमेंडस एप्लीकेशन of bioinformatics in the field of homology and similarity tools, protein function analysis, personalized medicine, gene therapy, drug development, comparative studies, and also climate change studies. Computational methodologies have turned into a noteworthy piece of structure-based medication outline. Structure-based medication outline uses the three-dimensional structure of a protein focus to plan hopeful medications that are anticipated to tie with high natural inclination and selectivity to the objective. ठीक है. उसके बाद में हमारे पास है for comprehensive study please see the link. ये आप लोग देख सकते हैं अगर किसी ने मज़ीद से स्टडी करनी है. ठीक है. उसके बाद चलते हैं आगे. मेरे ख्याल से तो यही इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत है. ठीक है. लेकिन अगर हम लोग फिर भी शौक के तहत मतलब पढ़ना चाहें कभी तो यहाँ पर जाकर पढ़ सकते हैं. ठीक है. सही है. उसके बाद आगे है व्हेन वी लुक एट बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स इट सीम्स टू बी अ वेरी complex and abstract field. How and where can bioinformatics be applied specifically? How does it improve the fundamental understanding of biological phenomena? Most importantly, how can its benefits be delivered to the society at large? The answer to these questions are categorized as follows. Genomics. Bioinformatics can help in assembling DNA sequencing data. It can help in gene finding markers. Gene assembly can be performed using bioinformatics tools, nucleotide alignments. It can help transcribe the gene data to RNA data. ठीक है. Also databases can be generated from such data. ठीक है. उसके बाद है evolutionary studies. Evolutionary relationship between different organisms can be derived from data. Evolutionary distance among species can be computed by using bioinformatics tools. Phylogenetic trees can be constructed to find a relationship between the species. Ancestry can be better understood between several species and organisms. Proteomics. सही हो गया. Proteomics में bioinformatics can help us in decoding protein sequences. It can also help us in understanding protein structure. We can also understand post-translational changes in proteins with the help of bioinformatics. We can better understand the protein-protein interaction in different biological reactions. It can also help us in generating databases of these sequences and structures. ठीक है. Systems biology. Bioinformatics can assist us in modeling regulatory mechanisms in gene and protein networks. ठीक है. Such models can be analyzed to identify the key regulators in these networks. Moreover, the models can help evaluate drugs to treat these key regulations. ठीक है. Conclusion में हमारे पास आगे bioinformatics can be applied to life in many ways. It helps us to understand the sequence and function of biomolecules and their relationships. Recent trends in bioinformatics involve department of personalized therapeutics for cancer and diabetes. ठीक है. तो मॉड्यूल नंबर 30 हमारे पास एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. ठीक हो गया. सो इंट्रोडक्शन. Bioinformatics is now being commonly applied in routine research and analysis. Most significantly, its salient applications include genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, metabolomics, structural proteomics, designing drugs, system biology, and in personalization of medicines for cure. ठीक है. Except these applications, bioinformatics introduced us the techniques which enabled us to generate the large data regarding biology and its use, and step by step these applications of bioinformatics increased from genomic level to entire system level. ठीक है. उसके बाद में है हमारे पास small to big. Bioinformatics helps us to understand the systems from small to big, like from gene finding to entire system prediction. सही हो गया. In structure findings and modeling of many biological systems to understand them in better ways. Bioinformatics help the human to understand the protein interaction in many biological systems and provide us the concept how these biological processes are interconnected with each other and how they affect each other. Now we can understand the modeling of molecules and genome at cell level. Signaling pathways are easy just because of bioinformatics. Now morphology of tissue can be understanding by creating the models with the help of bioinformatic tools. ठीक है. आगे चल लेते हैं. Conclusion में हमारे पास bioinformatics not only just collect, analyze and store the data, it processes it in very authentic way and validates our hypothesis, and very soon in future it will help us to understand that which disease is coming in future and how to tackle it with personalized medicine. ठीक है. उसके बाद हमारे पास मॉड्यूल नंबर 31 फ्रंटायर्स इन बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स. सो इसमें हमारे पास है इंट्रोडक्शन. Bioinformatics is new and emerging field of science having vast opportunities, and with innovation in tools it is increasing the scale of biological data, but still there are many unsolved challenges which are pending in the field of life science, and for which bioinformatics is doing new innovative ideas. Frontier in genomics. No, now we can sequence the whole genome with the bioinformatics tool, that is next generation sequencing, and we can save, store and analyze the massive amount of biological data which is in terabyte files. We can handle the large number of data easily and can process it as well in easy way. Whole genome can be assembled in sequence and flaws can be identified easily. So उसके बाद हमारे पास है frontiers in transcriptomics. Now in genomics we can identify those matters which are unknown yet or under discussion. Role of RNA in making proteins and its dynamics can be understood easily. Interactions of RNA molecules can be easily understood by simple model. Frontier in proteomics, we can identify the deficiency of low proteins in any patient's body tissues, and we can identify production of protein in large molecular level in any organism pathways before and after any biological reaction are easy to design. ठीक है, उसके बाद हमारे पास है कंक्लूजन. Bioinformatics is literally a science full of challenges and opportunities, having a revolution in the field of biology and routine life. ठीक है, frontiers in bioinformatics. So frontiers, ये मॉड्यूल नंबर 32 है. Frontiers in bioinformatics. Introduction. Frontiers in bioinformatics includes next generation genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics. ठीक है, तो frontiers in a protein structure. Bioinformatics helps us to understand the layer of folding of proteins, that how they are proceed, and helps us to know that how protein interact with each other and how a drug can affect or stimulate a protein structure also relate with it. So उसके बाद है हमारे पास frontiers in system biology. It helps us to understand the whole system of a single cell. In that cell how organelles, genes, proteins and metabolites are interconnected in a single unified system or cell, and bioinformatics also gives us the idea how these models can be applied to real time. ठीक है, उसके बाद हमारे पास में है frontiers in personalized medicine. This is the important thing for this century and upcoming generation, that personalize the medicine for exact cure of a disease, because all the medicine cannot work exact some affect patient badly. Therefore, with the help of bioinformatics, we are now able to personalize some medicines for some diseases, and bioinformatics helps us to evaluate the medicine. ठीक है, फिर कंक्लूजन में आ जाता है. If we talk about the 21st century, then it's the century of bioinformatics. It will enable the human to cure many diseases with one drug by personalizing it. ठीक है, उसके बाद हमारे पास द सेंट्रल डोगमा. ये है हमारा मॉड्यूल नंबर 30. द सेंट्रल डोगमा outlines the flow of the genetic information during growth and division of the cells. Genetic information flows from DNA to RNA to protein during cell growth. In addition, all living cells must replicate their DNA when they divide. During cell division, each daughter cell receives a copy of the genome of the parent cell. Replication is the process by which two identical copies of DNA are made from an original molecule of DNA. So replication occurs in the cells prior to cell division. An important point is that information does not flow from protein to RNA or DNA. However, flow of information from RNA backwards to DNA is possible in certain special circumstances due to the operation of reverse transcriptase. ठीक है, उसके बाद है by the end of 1953, the working hypothesis was adopted that chromosomal DNA functions as the template for the synthesis of RNA molecules. These RNA molecules are subsequently moved to the cytoplasm, where they determine the arrangement of amino acids within proteins. In 1956, Francis Crick referred to this pathway for the flow of genetic information as a central dogma. So central dogma की representation ये है. Duplication in DNA transcription. in cytoplasm, and then RNA formation, duplication of DNA, then transcription, then forms RNA, then translation, then forms protein. ठीक हो गया. उसके बाद है an important point in the above equations that the two arrows are under unidirectional, which means that RNA sequences are never determined by protein templates, nor was DNA that then imagined ever to be made on RNA templates. The idea that proteins never serve as template for RNA has stood the test of time. ठीक है. However, RNA chains sometimes do act as templates for synthesis of DNA chains of complementary sequence. Such reversals of the normal flow of information are very rare events compared with the enormous number of RNA molecules made on DNA templates. Thus, the central dogma, or as originally proclaimed more than 50 years ago, still remains essentially valid. ठीक हो गया. उसके बाद है मॉड्यूल नंबर 34, जीन, mRNA एंड प्रोटीन सीक्वेंस. सही होगा. इसको हम पढ़ लेते हैं. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पर है इंट्रोडक्शन. वी नो दैट ऑल लिविंग थिंग्स आर कंपोज्ड ऑफ सेल्स. हियर question arises on how these cells came into being. For composition of cell, DNA has blueprints for building cells along with the information of cells protein, carbohydrates and vitamin production, and transfer of this information from DNA to these molecules is termed as central dogma, which is DNA to RNA to protein and then to cell. Okay, DNA is a hereditary material present in all living organisms. It passes from one generation to the other via cell division. All cells have DNA. In eukaryotic cells, DNA present in the nucleus, and whereas in prokaryotic cells, DNA is present in the spreaded form in cytoplasm. Due to DNA, nucleus is known as the brain of the cell. DNA molecule is double helix structure. Contains base pairs composed of nucleotides, and these nucleotides are composed of sugar phosphate groups and are bind with each other with hydrogen bonds. ठीक हो गया. उसके बाद है हमारे पास में DNA and RNA are different from each other. DNA has double strand whereas RNA has single strand. Normally all the nucleotides are same in both DNA and RNA except one position in RNA, which is uracil in DNA, and in DNA it is thymine, which we will briefly discuss the difference between RNA and DNA in the coming modules. सही है. बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. ये आगे आकर के हमारा डिफरेंस भी आ जाएगा. ठीक है. उसके बाद में हमारे पास है मैकेनिज्म. DNA sends information to the cell via mRNA and the sequence and that sequence to amino acids. According to the coded information and protein structure is formed, and that protein forms the cell. ठीक होगा. So ये है हमारा एक एनिमल सेल. उसके बाद हम चलते हैं आगे. कंक्लूजन. अकॉर्डिंग टू द सेंट्रल डोगमा, DNA codes information from RNA and RNA makes the protein, and that protein along with some biomolecules make cells and its systems. ठीक हो गया. मॉड्यूल नंबर 35 पर आ गए हम लोग. न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स. Introduction. A nucleotide is the basic building block of nucleic acids. RNA and DNA are polymers made of long chains of nucleotides. Our nucleotide consists of one sugar molecule, either ribosome in RNA or deoxyribose in RNA and deoxyribose in DNA, attached to a phosphate group and a nitrogen containing base. Types of nitrogenous bases. There are 5 types of nitrogenous bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, thymine or uracil. Structure of DNA and RNA. DNA molecules although is double stranded and RNA is single stranded, but there is difference in sugar composition and in one nitrogenous base. In DNA, thymine present, while in RNA uracil is present. RNA has ribose sugar and DNA has deoxyribose sugar. ठीक है. हो गया. 10 हो गया. उसके बाद हमारे पास एडेनिन एंड ग्वानिन collectively called purines, which while cytosine and uracil and thymine are called as pyrimidines. ठीक है. और इसको pyrimidine पढ़ती हूँ मैं, लेकिन pyrimidine भी पढ़ सकते हैं. ठीक है. When phosphate, nitrogen base and sugar come together, if there is OH then molecule is RNA. If there is H in sugar then molecule is DNA. ठीक हो गया. उसके बाद हमारे पास है Conclusion: DNA molecule makes RNA and RNA makes the protein, and DNA differs from RNA in nature due to sugar and nitrogenous base. DNA just codes information for protein, and but RNA helps in making protein. Done. इसके बाद है मॉड्यूल नंबर 36 जेनेटिक कोड. ठीक है. हाउ डू ट्रांसक्रिप्शन एंड ट्रांसलेशन प्रोड्यूस स्पेसिफिक एंड फंक्शनल प्रोटीन प्रोडक्ट्स. These processes required a genetic code that relates genes, DNA to mRNA and mRNA to the amino acids of protein. The genetic code specifies which amino acids will be used to build a protein. You can think of the genetic information in an mRNA molecule as a series of sequential non-overlapping 3 letters or words. Each sequence of 3 nucleotide bases, the 3 letters along the chain specifies a particular amino acid. Each 3-letter word is called a codon. Each codon is complementary to the corresponding triplet in the DNA molecule from which it was transcribed. Thus, the genetic code is the means of relating codons to their specific amino acid. The complete genetic code is shown in the figure. अच्छा ठीक है, इसके genetic code भी हम देख लेते हैं. ठीक है. उसके बाद है हमारे पास नोटिस दैट देयर आर मैनी मोर कोडोन्स दैट देयर आर डिफरेंट अमीनो एसिड्स एंड प्रोटीन्स. कम्बिनेशन ऑफ द 4 अवेलेबल लेटर्स द बेसिस गिव 64 into 43 different 3-letter codons, yet these codons determine only 20 amino acids. AUG, which codes for methionine, is also the start codon. The initiation signal for translation. The 3 of the codons UAA, UAG and UGA are stop codons or termination signals for translation. When the translation machinery reaches one of these codons, translation stops and the polypeptide is released from the translation complex. ठीक हो गया जनाब. तो ये है सारे न्यूक्लियोटाइड कोडोन्स अमीनो एसिड्स. डन हो गया. उसके बाद में ये एक्सपेरिमेंट है. ठीक है. प्रिपेयर bacterial extract containing all the components needed to make protein except mRNA. फिर सेकेंड स्टेप में add an artificial mRNA containing only one repeating base. फिर the polypeptide produced containing a single amino acid. Conclusion: triple U is an mRNA codon for phenylalanine, triple A is an mRNA codon for lysine, triple C is the mRNA codon for proline. ठीक है. The genetic code Nirenberg and Matthew used the test tube protein synthesis system to determine the amino acids specified by synthetic mRNAs of non-codon composition. ठीक है. तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंट उन्होंने किया. सही हो गया. उसके बाद हमारे पास आ गया ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. मॉड्यूल नंबर 37. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन: द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ specific RNA from a specific DNA requires several components. DNA template for complementary base pairing, the appropriate ribonucleoside, triphosphate, ATP, GTP, CTP and UTP to act as substrates. ठीक है. An enzyme RNA polymerase. Within each gene, only one of the 2 strands of DNA, the template strand, is transcribed. The other complementary strand referred to as the non-template strand remains untranscribed. For different genes in the same DNA molecule, different strands may be transcribed. That is, the strand that is non-template strand in one gene may be the template strand in another gene. ठीक हो गया. डन. उसके बाद चलते हैं आगे. ये वाला फेनोमेना है जो उसमें बताया जा रहा है. ठीक है. उसके बाद हम चलते हैं आगे. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. सो यहाँ पर ट्रांसक्रिप्शन है. मॉड्यूल नंबर 38. बैकग्राउंड: ऑल सेल्स आर मेड अप ऑफ प्रोटीन, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स एंड लिपिड्स, एंड फॉर दीज सेल्स DNA codes the information which makes the RNA and protein both. ठीक हो गया. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन और ट्रांसलेशन. Information from DNA to RNA, copy of information, then execution of information, then it makes protein in cells. सही. तो हमारे पास आ जाता है जनाब ट्रांसक्रिप्शन. Transcription is the process by which the information in strand of DNA is copied into a new molecule of messenger RNA. DNA safely and stably stores genetic material in the nuclei of cells and as a reference or template. Meanwhile, copy from a reference book because it carries the same information as DNA but is not used for long-term storage and can freely exit the nucleus. Although the mRNA contains the same information, it is not an identical copy of the DNA segment because its sequence is complementary to the DNA template. Transcription is carried out by an enzyme called RNA polymerase and a number of accessory proteins called transcription factors. Transcription factors can bind to specific DNA sequences called enhancer and promoter sequences in order to recruit DNA polymerase to an appropriate transcription site. Together, the transcription factors and RNA polymerase form a complex called the transcription initiation complex. This complex initiates transcription, and the RNA polymerase begins mRNA synthesis by matching complementary bases to the original DNA strand. The mRNA molecule is elongated, and once the strand is completely synthesized, transcription is terminated. ठीक है. The newly formed mRNA copies of the gene then serve as blueprints for protein synthesis during the process of translation. ठीक है. उसके बाद हमारे पास है mechanism. The above mechanism explains the process of transcription in very simple way. DNA codes the information and convert it into RNA, where mRNA copies the information and it executes the information in cell, and amino acids combine with each other according to coded information of DNA, and protein formation takes place. This is known as translation. ठीक है. उसके बाद में है RNA versus DNA. So, molecule of DNA contains only 4 base pairs, A, T, C, and G, which are repeated thousands of times, and adenine A pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds, while cytosine binds with guanine by 3 hydrogen bonds. ठीक है. Same like DNA, the RNA contains 4 base pairs. Thymine is replaced with uracil, and RNA is single strand. ठीक होगा. उसके बाद में हमारे पास आ जाता है कंक्लूजन में हमारे पास DNA has 4 bases A, C, D, G and GT, and RNA has 4 bases A, C, G and U. DNA is double stranded, whereas RNA is single stranded. DNA just codes information for protein, but RNA helps in making protein. So हमारे पास अगला मॉड्यूल नंबर 39, टाइप्स ऑफ राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड्स. There are mainly 4 types of ribonucleotides depending upon the types of nitrogen bases present in RNA. ठीक है. एडिनोसिन, गुआनोसिन. एडिनिलेट, एडिनोसिन 5 मोनोफॉस्फेट, गुआनिलेट, गुआनोसिन 5 मोनोफॉस्फेट. ठीक होगा. इसके बाद आगे चलते हैं तो यूरिडीन, साइटिडेन. यूरिडिलेट, यूरिडीन 5 मोनोफॉस्फेट, साइटिडीन 5 मोनोफॉस्फेट. ठीक हो गया. How do ribonucleotides join? ये वाले बॉन्ड से ज्वाइन करते हैं फास्फोडाइस्टर में. ठीक हो गया. पोली राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड है वो से. उसके बाद हमारे पास में ये है पोली राइबोन्यूक्लियोटाइड. ये सारा का सारा एक से ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियोटाइड है इसके अंदर. उसके बाद हमारे पास है मॉड्यूल नंबर 40, टाइप्स ऑफ RNA. देयर आर मेनली 3 टाइप्स ऑफ राइबोन्यूक्लिक एसिड्स. RNA is present in the cells of living organisms. Messenger RNA, transfer RNA, ribosomal RNA. Messenger RNA, it is a type of RNA that carries genetic information from DNA to the protein biosynthetic machinery of ribosomes. ठीक हो गया. It provides the templates that specify amino acid sequences in polypeptide chains. The process of forming mRNA on a DNA template is known as transcription. It may be monocistronic or polycistronic. The length of mRNA molecule is variable and it depends on the length of gene. Transfer RNA, tRNA. Transfer RNAs serves as adapter molecules in the process of protein synthesis. They are covalently linked to an amino acid at one end. They pair with the mRNA in such a way that amino acids are joined to a growing polypeptide in the correct sequence. ठीक है. उसके बाद में ये आ गया हमारे पास, ये सारा का सारा वही वाला प्रोसेस बता रहा है। राइबोसोमल आरएनए, RNA. Ribosomal RNAs are components of ribosomes. RNAs are predominant material in the ribosome, constituting about 60% of its weight. It has a number of functions to perform in the ribosomes. ठीक है. So module number 41, structure of RNA. mRNA is always single-stranded when it is formed from DNA, but this single strand assumes a double helical conformation soon after its formation. This conformation is achieved mainly due to the base stacking interactions. Messenger RNA ये जो दिखाया हुआ है ये है इसका, ठीक है. और self complementary sequences may occur in the RNA molecules which produce more complex structures. So RNA can base pair with complementary regions of either RNA or DNA. RNA has no any regular secondary structure that serves as a reference point. The three-dimensional structure of mRNA are complex and unique. Breaks in the helix caused by mismatched or unmatched bases, one or both strands, are common and result in bulges or internal loops. Hairpin loops form between nearby self-complementary sequences. ठीक है, बेस पर रीजन ये रहा हेयरपिन लूप, इंटरनल लूप, डबल हेलिक्स, बल्ज लूप और ये सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड रीजन. सही हो गया. ये अपने साथ ही पेयर्स बना लेते हैं इसका जो स्ट्रैंड होता है अपने साथ ही, या कम्प्लीमेंट दूसरे डीएनए के साथ या फिर दूसरे आरएनए के साथ, ये लोग कम्प्लीमेंट्री स्ट्रैंड्स के साथ में अपने जो अलग रीजन होते हैं जहाँ पर कोई बॉन्डिंग नहीं हुई होती वो मिलकर तो लूप्स बना लेते हैं. ठीक है, तो कॉम्प्लेक्स स्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं, हेलिकल स्ट्रक्चर की शेप बना देते हैं. कुछ टाइम के लिए स्पेसिफिक नहीं होती वो इन तक. वो डबल हेलिकल स्ट्रक्चर सिर्फ डीएनए तक स्पेसिफिक है. सही हो गया. ट्रांसफर आरएनए, ये ट्रांसफर आरएनए की फॉर्म है. इसमें भी हेयरपिन लूप है. ये सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड रीजन है. सही होगा. इसके अलावा हमारे पास मॉड्यूल नंबर 42, मैसेंजर आरएनए. द प्रोटीन कोडिंग रीजन्स ऑफ ईच एमआरएनए इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ अ contiguous non-overlapping string of codons called an open reading frame, commonly known as ORF. Each ORF specifies a single protein and starts and ends at internal sites within the mRNA. That is, the ends of an ORF are distinct from the ends of the mRNA. Translation starts at the 5' end of the ORF and proceeds one codon at a time to the 3' end. The first and last codons of an ORF are known as the start and stop codon. In bacteria, the start codon is usually 5' AUG to 3', but 5' GUG to 3' and sometimes even 5' UUG to 3' are also used. Eukaryotic cells always use 5' AUG to 3' as the start codon. ठीक है. The start codon has two important functions. कौन से इसके फंक्शन है? First, it specifies the first amino acid to be incorporated into the growing polypeptide chain. Second, it defines the reading frame for all subsequent codons. ठीक है. Stop codons, of which there are 5' UAG to 3', 5' UGA to 3' and 5' UAA to 3', defines the end of the ORF and signal termination of polypeptide synthesis. You can now understand the origin of the term open reading frame. ठीक है. It is contiguous stretch of codons read in a particular frame as set by the first codon that is open to translation because it lacks a stop codon. बाद चलते हैं आगे. mRNAs contain at least one ORF. The number of ORFs per mRNA is different between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Eukaryotic mRNAs almost always contain a single ORF. In contrast, prokaryotic mRNAs frequently contain two or more ORFs. mRNAs containing multiple ORFs are known as polycistronic RNAs, and those encoding a single ORF are known as monocistronic RNAs. The polycistronic mRNAs found in bacteria often encode proteins that perform related functions such as different steps in the biosynthesis of an amino acid or nucleotide. ठीक हो गया. Prokaryotic mRNA. So model number 43 है prokaryotic mRNA. For translation to occur, the ribosome must be recruited to the mRNA. Prokaryotic mRNAs have a ribosome binding site that recruits the translational machinery. To facilitate binding by a ribosome, many prokaryotic ORFs contain a short sequence upstream on the 5' side of the start codon called the ribosome binding site. ठीक है. This element is also referred to as a Shine-Olgardno sequence after the scientists who discovered it by comparing the sequences of multiple mRNAs. The extent of complementarity and the spacing between the ribosome binding sites and the start codon has a strong influence on how actively a particular ORF is translated. ठीक है. So some prokaryotic ORFs lack a strong ribosome binding site but are nonetheless actively translated. These ORFs are not the first ORF in an mRNA but instead are located at just after another ORF in a polycistronic message. Phenomena of linked translation between overlapping ORFs is known as translational coupling. So in this situation, translation of the downstream ORF requires translation of the upstream ORF. So ये है जनाब स्टार्ट कोडॉन, राइबोसोम बाइंडिंग साइट्स, प्रोटीन अल्फा, प्रोटीन बीटा, प्रोटीन गामा, ये ORFs है, पॉलीसिस्ट्रोनिक है ये. ठीक है. उसके बाद ये हमारे पॉलीसिस्ट्रोनिक है. ठीक हो गया. इसके बाद अब चलते हैं आगे. मॉडल नंबर 44 है हमारे पास यूकैरियोटिक mRNA. Unlike their prokaryotic counterparts, eukaryotic mRNAs recruit ribosomes using a specific chemical modification called the 5' cap, which is located at the extreme 5' end of the mRNA. The 5' cap is a methylated guanine nucleotide that is joined to the 5' end of the mRNA via an unusual 5' to 5' linkage. Two other features of eukaryotic mRNAs stimulate translation. One feature is the presence in some mRNAs of a purine 3 bases upstream of the start codon and a guanine immediately downstream. ठीक है. उसके बाद है a second feature that contributes to efficient translation is the presence of a poly A tail at the extreme 3' end of the mRNA. This tail is added enzymatically by the enzyme poly A polymerase. Despite its location at the 3' end of the mRNA, the poly A tail enhances the level of translation of the mRNA by enhancing the recruitment of key translation initiation factor. Importantly, in addition to their roles in translation, these 5' and 3' ends of end modifications are also protect eukaryotic mRNAs from rapid degradation. ओके. चलते हैं हम आगे. Module 45 transfer of RNA. The heart of protein synthesis is the translation of nucleotide sequence information in the form of codons into amino acids. This is accomplished by tRNA molecules which act as adapters between codons and the amino acids they specify. There are many types of tRNA molecules but each is attached to a specific amino acid and each recognizes a particular codon or codons in the mRNA. Most tRNAs recognize more than one codon. ठीक है. A striking aspect of tRNAs is the presence of several unusual bases in their primary structure. These unusual features are created post-transcriptionally by enzymatic modification of normal bases in the polynucleotide chain. Unusual bases found in tRNA include hypoxanthine, thymine, and methylguanine. These modified bases are not essential for tRNA function, but cells lacking these modified bases show reduced rate of growth. ठीक है. Ribose, uridine, pseudouridine, uridine और dihydrouridine. ठीक है. Module number 46, secondary structure of tRNA. RNA molecules typically contain regions of self-complementarity that enables them to form limited stretches of double helix that are held together by base pairing. tRNA molecules show a characteristic and highly conserved pattern of single-stranded and double-stranded regions. Secondary structure that can be illustrated as a clover leaf. ठीक है. The principal features of the tRNA clover leaf are an accepted stem, 3 stem loops referred to as the YU loop, the D loop, and the anticodon loop, and a 4th variable loop. The accepted stem, it is so named because it is the site of attachment of the amino acid is formed by pairing between 5' and 3' ends of the tRNA molecules. The YU loop, it is so named because of the characteristic presence of the unusual base YU in the loop. The modified base is often found within the sequence 5' TC, UCG and 3'. ठीक है. उसके बाद है the D loop. It takes its name from the characteristic presence of dihydrouridines in the loop. ठीक है. The anticodon loop, as its name implies, contains the anticodon, a 3 nucleotide long sequence that is responsible for recognizing the codon by base pairing with the mRNA. The variable loop, it sits between the anticodon loop and the YU loop, and as its name implies, varies in size from 3 to 21 bases. ठीक होगा. So DHU loop, ये रहा phosphorylated 5 terminus. ठीक है. उसके बाद ये अमीनो एसिड अटैचमेंट साइट. TY loop, TYC loop. ठीक है. TC एक्स्ट्रा आर्म वेरिएबल लूप, एंटीकोडोन लूप. ठीक है. सही हो गया. उसके बाद हमारे पास में है modules 47 attachment of amino acid to tRNAs. tRNA molecules to which amino acid is attached are said to be charged, and tRNA that lack an amino acid are said to be uncharged. Charging requires an acyl linkage between the carboxyl group of an amino acid and the true prime or 3' hydroxyl group of the adenosine nucleotide that protrudes from the acceptor stem at the 3' end of the tRNA. This acyl linkage is a high energy bond because it hydrolysis results in a large change in free energy. This is significant for protein synthesis. The energy released when this acyl bond is broken is coupled to the formation of the peptide bonds that link amino acids to each other in polypeptide chains. All amino-acyl tRNA synthetases attach the amino acid to a tRNA in 2 enzymatic steps: adenylation or tRNA charging. ठीक है. Step 1 is adenylation, in which the amino acid reacts with ATP to become adenylated with the concomitant release of pyrophosphate. ठीक है. Adenylation refers to a transfer of AMP adenosine monophosphate as opposed to adenylation, which would indicate the transfer of adenine. The principal driving force for the adenylation reaction is the subsequent hydrolysis of pyrophosphate by pyrophosphatase. As a result of adenylation, the amino acid is attached to adenylic acid via high energy ester bond, in which the carbonyl group of the amino acid is joined to the phosphoryl group of AMP. ठीक है, उसके बाद है 7. Step 2 is tRNA charging, in which the adenylated amino acid, which remains tightly bound to the synthetase, reacts with tRNA. This reaction results in the transfer of the amino acid to the 3' end of the tRNA via the 2' or 3' hydroxyl and the release of AMP. ठीक है. There are two classes of tRNA synthesis. Class 1 enzymes attach the amino acid to the 20 OH of the tRNA and are generally monomeric. Class 2 enzymes are attach the amino acid to the 30 OH of the tRNA and are typically dimeric or tetrameric. Each of the 20 amino acids is attached to the appropriate tRNA by a single dedicated tRNA synthetase. Because most amino acids are specified by more than one codon, it is not uncommon for one synthase to recognize and charge more than one tRNA, known as iso-accepting tRNAs. The same tRNA synthetase is responsible for charging all tRNAs for a particular amino acid. Thus, one and only one tRNA synthetase attaches each amino acid to all of the appropriate tRNAs. ठीक है, इसके बाद हम चलते हैं आगे. मॉड्यूल नंबर 48. The ribosome. The ribosome is the macromolecular machine that directs the synthesis of proteins. The ribosome is larger and more complex than the minimal machinery required for DNA or RNA synthesis. The machinery for polymerizing amino acids is composed of at least 3 RNA molecules and more than 50 different proteins, which with an overall molecular mass of greater than 2.5 MTA. Compared with the speed of DNA replication, that is 200 to 1000 nucleotides per second, translation takes place at a rate of only 2 to 20 amino acids per second. In prokaryotes, the transcription machinery and the translation machinery are located in the same compartment. Thus, the ribosome can commence translation of the mRNA as it emerges from the RNA polymerase. ठीक है. This situation allows the ribosome to proceed in tandem with the RNA polymerase as it elongates the transcript. Recall that the 5' end of the RNA is synthesized first, and thus the ribosome, which begins translation at the 5' end of the mRNA, can start translating a nascent transcript as soon as it emerges from the RNA polymerase. ठीक है, तो उसके बाद है हमारे पास मॉड्यूल नंबर 49. स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड. Each new amino acid is added to the carboxyl terminus of the growing polypeptide chain, often referred to as synthesis in the amino acid in the amino to carboxyl terminal direction. The ribosome catalyzes a single chemical reaction, the formation of a polypeptide bond. This reaction occurs between amino acid residue at the carboxy terminal end of the growing polypeptide and the incoming amino acid to be added to the chain. Both the growing chain and the incoming amino acid are attached to tRNAs. As a result, during peptide bond formation, the growing polypeptide is continuously attached to a tRNA. The actual substrates for each round of amino acid addition are 2 charged species of tRNAs, an amino acyl tRNA and a peptidyl tRNA. Amino acyl tRNA is attached at its 3' end to the carboxyl group of the amino acid. The peptidyl tRNA is attached in exactly the same manner as its 3' end to the carboxyl terminus of the growing polypeptide chain. The bond between the amino acid tRNA and the amino acid is not broken during the formation of the next peptide bond. ठीक है. Instead, the bond between the peptidyl tRNA and the growing polypeptide chain is broken as the growing chain is attached to the amino group of the amino acid attached to the amino acid tRNA to form a new peptide bond. To catalyze peptide bond formation, the 3' end of these two tRNAs are brought into close proximity by the ribosome. The resulting tRNA positioning allows the amino group of the amino acid attached to amino acid tRNA to attack the carbonyl group of the most carboxyl terminal amino acid attached to the polypeptide tRNA. So the next is the result of this nucleophilic attack is the formation of a new peptide bond between the amino acids attached to the tRNAs and the release of the polypeptide chain from the peptidyl tRNA. There are two consequences of this method of polypeptide synthesis. First, this mechanism of peptide bond formation requires that the amino terminus of the protein be synthesized before the carboxyl terminus. Second, the growing polypeptide chain is transferred from the peptidyl tRNA to the amino acid tRNA. Okay, हम चलते हैं आगे. For this reason, the reaction to form a new peptide bond is called the peptidyl transferase reaction. Interestingly, peptide bond formation takes place without the simultaneous hydrolysis of a nucleoside triphosphate. This is because peptide bond formation is driven by breaking the high energy acyl bond that joins the growing polypeptide chain to the tRNA. ठीक हो गया. Bonding. So model number 50 है bonding site on ribosomes on tRNA. The ribosome is composed of two sub-assemblies of RNA and protein known as the large subunit, large and small subunits. The large subunit contains the peptidyl transferase center, which is responsible for the formation of peptide bonds. The small subunit contains the decoding center, in which charged tRNAs read or decode the codon units of the mRNA. Both the decoding center and the peptidyl transferase center are buried within the intact ribosome. Yet mRNA must be threaded through the decoding center during translation, and the nascent polypeptide chain must escape from the peptidyl transferase center. There are tunnels and in and out of the ribosome. Polymers enter through these tunnels. To perform the peptidyl transferase reaction, the ribosome must be able to bind at least two tRNAs simultaneously. Two tRNAs simultaneously. In fact, the ribosome contains 3 tRNA binding sites called A site, B site, and E sites. The A site is the binding site for the amino acylated tRNA. The P site is the binding site for the peptidyl tRNA. The E site is the binding site for the tRNA that is released after the growing polypeptide chain has been transferred to the amino acyl tRNA. E is for exiting. ठीक है. Each tRNA binding site is found at the interface between the large and small subunits of the ribosome. In this way, the bound tRNAs can span the distance between the peptidyl transferase center in the large subunit and the decoding center in the small subunit. The 3' end of the tRNAs that are coupled to amino acid or to the growing polypeptide or to the growing peptide chain are adjacent to the larger subunit. The anticodon loops of the bound tRNAs are located adjacent to the small subunit. ठीक हो गया। उसके बाद मेरे पास में मॉड्यूल नंबर 15 इनिशिएशन ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन। फॉर ट्रांसलेशन टू बी सक्सेसफुली इनिशिएटेड 3 events must occur. The ribosome must be recruited to the mRNA. A charged tRNA must be placed into the P site of the ribosome. The ribosome must be precisely positioned over the start codon. ठीक है। The correct positioning of the ribosome over the start codon is critical because this establishes the reading frame for the translation of the mRNA. In prokaryotes, the assembly of the ribosome on an mRNA occurs one subunit at a time. The small subunit associates with the mRNA first. For ideally positioned RBS ribosome binding sites, the small subunit is positioned on the mRNA such as that the start codon will be in the P site when the large subunit joins the complex. The large subunit joins its partner only at the very end of the initiation process, just before the formation of the first peptide bond. Thus, many of the key events of translation initiation occur in the absence of the full ribosome. Translation initiation is the only time a tRNA binds to the P site without previously occupying the A site. This event requires a special tRNA known as the initiator tRNA. The initiator tRNA base pairs with the start codon AUG or GUG. AUG and GUG have a different meaning when they occur with an ORF, where they are read by tRNAs for methionine and valine respectively. Although the initiator tRNA is first charged with the methionine, a formyl group is rapidly added to the methionine amino group by a separate enzyme, MET tRNA transformylase. Thus, rather than valine or methionine, the initiator tRNA is coupled to an formyl methionine. The charged initiator tRNA is referred to as FT, formyl methionine tRNA FMET. ठीक है, सही है, because N formyl methionine is the first amino acid to be incorporated into a polypeptide chain. One might think that all prokaryotic proteins have a formyl group at their amino termini. Okay, this is not the case, however, because the N enzyme known as deformylase removes a formyl group from the amino acid terminus during or after the synthesis of polypeptide chain. In fact, many mature prokaryotic proteins do not even start with the methionine. Aminopeptidase dases often remove the amino terminal methionine as well as 1 or 2 additional amino acids. ठीक हो गया। उसके बाद हमारे पास में मॉड्यूल नंबर 22, द इनिशिएशन फैक्टर. द इनिशिएशन फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोकैरियोटिक translation commences with the small subunit and is catalyzed by the translation initiation factor called IF1, IF2 and IF3. Each factor facilitates a key step in the initiation process. IF1, it prevents tRNAs from binding to the portion of the small subunit that will become part of the A site. IF2, it is a GTPase that interacts with three key components of the initiation machinery: the small subunit IF1 and the charged initiator tRNA FMET. IF3, it binds to the small subunit and blocks it from reassociating with a larger subunit. ठीक है, because initiation requires a free small subunit, the binding IF3 is critical for a new cycle of translation. Each of the initiation factors bind at or near one of 3 tRNA binding sites on the smaller subunit. ठीक हो गया। उसके बाद है from the 3 potential tRNA binding sites on the small subunit, only the P site is capable of binding a tRNA in the presence of the initiation factor. With all 3 initiation factors bound, the small subunit is prepared to bind to the mRNA and the initiator tRNA. These two RNAs can bind in either order and independently of each other. The last step of initiation involves the association of the large subunit to create the 70 search for initiation complex. When the start codon and FMET tRNA FMET base pair, the small subunit undergoes change in conformation. IF2 bound to GTP has reduced affinity for ribosome and the initiator tRNA, leading to the release of IF2 GDP as well as IF1 from the ribosome. ठीक हो गया, आगे चलते हैं मॉड्यूल नंबर 53. हम चलते हैं अब आगे. ट्रांसलेशन elongation module number 53. So once the ribosome is assembled with the charged initiator tRNA in the P site, polypeptide synthesis can begin. There are 3 key events that must occur for the correct addition of each amino acid. First, that correct amino acid tRNA is loaded into the A site of the ribosome as dictated by the A site codon. Second, a peptide bond is formed between the amino acid tRNA in the A site and the peptide chain that is attached to the peptidyl tRNA in the P site. This peptidyl transfer reaction results in the transfer of the growing polypeptide from the tRNA. Sorry, इसके बाद in the P site, growing polypeptide of the tRNA in the P site to the amino acid moiety of the charged tRNA in the A site. Third, the resulting polypeptide tRNA in the A site and its associated codon must be translocated to the P site so that the ribosome is poised for another cycle of codon recognition and peptide bond formation. As with the original position of the mRNA, this shift must occur precisely to maintain the correct reading frame of the message. 2 auxiliary proteins known as elongation factor control these events. Both of these factors use the energy of GTP binding and hydrolysis to enhance the rate and accuracy of ribosome function. Unlike the initiation of translation, the mechanism of elongation is highly conserved between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Amino acid tRNAs do not bind to the ribosome on their own. Instead, they are escorted to the ribosome by the elongation factor EFTU. Like the initiation factor IF2, the elongation factor EFTU binds and hydrolyzes GTP, and the type of guanine nucleotide bound governs its function. The trigger that activates the EFTU GTPase is the same domain on the large subunit of the ribosome that activates the IF2 GTPase when the large subunit joins the initiation complex. This domain is known as the factor binding center. EFTU only interacts with the factor binding center after the tRNA is loaded onto the A site and the correct codon-anticodon match is made. The error rate of translation is between 10⁻³ to 10⁻⁵. However, in some cases, the base pairing in the anticodon-codon interaction may be mismatched, yet the ribosome rarely allows such mismatched amino acid tRNAs to continue in the translation process. ठीक है, उसके बाद जनाब है मॉड्यूल नंबर 54, द राइबोसोम इज द राइबोजाइम. Once the correctly charged tRNA has been placed in the A site and has rotated into the peptidyl transferase center, peptide bond formation takes place. This reaction is catalyzed by RNA, specifically the 223S Schwarzberg rRNA component of the largest subunit. Early evidence for this came from experiments in which it was shown that a larger subunit that had been largely stripped of its proteins was still able to carry out peptide bond formation. Proof that the peptidyl transferase is entirely composed of RNA has come from high resolution. transferase is entirely composed of RNA has come from the high resolution 3-dimensional structure of the ribosome, which reveals that no amino acid is located closer than 18 angstrom from the active site. Because catalysis requires distances in the 1 to 3 angstrom range, it is clear that the peptidyl transferase center is a ribozyme, that is an enzyme composed of RNA. How does the 23-phosphate RNA catalyze peptide bond formation? The exact mechanism remains to be determined, but some answers to this question are beginning to emerge. First base pairing between the 23 Schwarzberg RNA and the CCS ends of the tRNAs in the A and the P sites help to position the alpha amino group of the amino acid tRNA to attack the carbonyl group of the growing polypeptide attached to the peptidyl tRNA. These interactions are also likely to stabilize the amino acid tRNA after accommodation, because closer proximity of substrates is rarely sufficient to generate high levels of catalysis. It is hypothesized that other elements of the ribosomal RNA change the translocation, referred to as translocation. The initial steps of translocation are coupled to the peptidyle transferase reaction. Once the growing peptide chain has been transferred to the A site tRNA, the A and P site tRNAs have a preference to occupy new positions in the larger subunit. The 3' end of the A site tRNA is bound to the growing polypeptide chain and prefers to bind in the P site of the large subunit. The now deacetylated P site tRNA is no longer attached to the growing polypeptide chain and prefers to bind in the E site of the larger subunit. In contrast, at this time, the anticodons of these tRNAs remain in their initial location in the small subunit bound to the mRNA. Translocation is initiated in the large subunit before the small subunit, and the tRNAs are said to be in hybrid states. The completion of translocation requires the action of a second elongation factor called EFG. Initial binding of EFG to the ribosome occurs when associated with GTP. After the peptidyle transferase reaction, EFG GTP binds to and stabilizes the ribosome in the rotated hybrid state. When EFG GTP binds, it contacts the factor binding center of the larger subunit, which stimulates GTP hydrolysis. GTP hydrolysis changes the conformation of EFG with two consequences. First, interactions between EFG, GDP and the ribosome are thought to unlock the ribosome. Second, the changed EFG GDP conformation binds to the A site of the decoding center. This interaction competes with the tRNA for binding to the A site of the decoding center. Release of EFG results in the return of the ribosome to a locked state in which the tRNAs and mRNAs are once again tightly associated with the small subunit decoding center, and the gates between the A, P and E sites are closed. Together, these events result in the translocation of the A site tRNA into the P site, the P site tRNA into the E site, and the movement of the mRNA by exactly 3 base pairs. The ribosome is now ready for a new cycle of amino acid to begin. ठीक है, उसके बाद हमारे पास है मॉडल नंबर 56, टर्मिनेशन ऑफ द ट्रांसलेशन. The ribosome cycle of amino acyl tRNA binding peptide conformation and translocation continues until one of the 3 stop codons enter the A site. Stop codons are recognized by proteins called release factors that activate the hydrolysis of the polypeptide from the peptidyle tRNA. There are 2 classes of release factors. Class 1 release factor recognizes the stop codons and triggers hydrolysis of the peptide chain from the tRNA in the P site. Class 2 release factor stimulate the dissociation of the class 1 factors from the ribosome after release of the polypeptide chain. Prokaryotes have two class 1 release factors called RF1 and RF2. RF1 recognizes the stop codon UAG and RF2 recognizes the stop codon UGA. The third stop codon UAA is recognized by both RF1 and RF2. In eukaryotic cells, there is a single class 1 release factor. There is a single class 1 release factor called ERF1 that recognizes all 3 stop codons. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes have only one class 2 factor called RF3 and ERF3 respectively. Like EFG, IF2 and EFTU, class 2 release factors are regulated by GTP binding and hydrolysis. ठीक है, release factors are composed entirely of protein RNA interaction must mediate stop codon recognition. ठीक है, उसके बाद सही है एंटीकोडोन आर्म है और ये डोमेन है. सही है, उसके बाद में है मॉड्यूल नंबर 57, टर्मिनेशन ऑफ द ट्रांसलेशन पार्ट 2. The ribosome cycle of amino acyl tRNA binding peptide bond formation and translocation continues until dissociation of the class 1 factor from the ribosome after the release of the polypeptide chain. Prokaryotes have two class 1 release factors, RF1 and RF2. RF1 recognizes the stop codon UAG and RF2 recognizes the stop codon UGA. The third stop codon UAA is recognized by both RF1 and RF2. In eukaryotic cells, there is a single class 1 release factor called RFE, RF1 that recognizes all three stop codon. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes have only one class 2 factors called RF3 and ERF3 respectively. ठीक है. Like EFG, IF2 and EFTU, class 2 release factors are regulated by GTP binding and hydrolysis. Release factors are composed entirely of protein. RNA interaction must mediate stop codon recognition. Okay. Model number 58. हमारे पास amino acid है. Background: RNA decodes information at ribosome in the form of codons. Each codon consists of 3 nucleotides which form one amino acid. ओके, सारा हो गया टेबल. इसके अंदर सारे amino acid है. ठीक है. Introduction: amino acid any of a group of organic molecules that consist of a basic amino group and an acidic carboxyl group and an organic R group side chain that is unique to each amino acid. The term amino acid is short for alpha amino carboxylic acid. Alpha amino carboxylic acid. Each molecule contains a central carbon called the alpha carbon, to which both amino and a carboxyl group are attached. The remaining two bonds of alpha carbon atoms are generally satisfied by hydrogen atom and the R group. The formula of a general amino acid is this. Okay. The amino acids differ from each other in the particular chemical structure of the R group. There are 20 different amino acids in nature. Therefore, they fold together and make a protein structure by polymerizing themselves. If we observe the structure of amino acid, it contains nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and two carbon atoms, and a variable group R, alkyl group. ठीक है. ठीक होगा. पीरियोडिक चार्ट ऑफ अमीनो एसिड. ये इसका पीरियोडिक चार्ट है, यहाँ से लेकर के यहाँ तक. हिस्टिडीन, आर्जिनिन, फिनाइलैलानाइन, एलिनिन, सिस्टिडीन, ग्लाइसाइन, ग्लूटामाइन और aspartic acid, glutamic acid, threonine, tyrosine, serine, asparagine, methionine, leucine, lysine. ठीक है. ट्रिप्टोफैन, प्रोलीन, वेलाइन, सेराइन और ये सब के सब अमीनो एसिड है. ठीक है. उसके बाद में हमारे पास है मैकेनिज्म. व्हेन पॉलीमराइजेशन टेक्स प्लेस, then water is formed. On the removal of water, peptide bond formed between two amino acids. Long chains of peptide bonds form proteins. सही हो गया, बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया. ये सारा का सारा मैकेनिज्म वही है, सेम रिपीटिशन है इसमें. ठीक है. सो आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. कंक्लूजन: अमीनो एसिड्स polymerized and form peptide bonds, also known as peptide linkage. Then proteins formed. Protein fold is itself in 3D structure to acquire more stability, and these proteins form cells with the collaboration of other biomolecules. ठीक है. So module number 59, proteins, polymers of amino acids. Protein functions: most abundant polymers in the cell support protection, catalysis, transport, defense, regulation and movement. Do not store genetic information. Amino acid structure. ठीक है. उसके बाद the side chain और R group gives different properties to each of the amino acids. Okay. The general structure of all amino acids is the same, but each has a different side chain. Amino acids have both the 3 letters and single letter abbreviations. ठीक हो गया. उसके बाद चलते हैं आगे. ये हमारे सारे अमीनो एसिड: एसिडाइन, थ्रियोनाइन, एस्पराजिन, ग्लूटामाइन, टायरोसिन. ठीक है. हमने उसमें बॉक्स में पढ़ लिया है. मॉड्यूल नंबर 60, प्रोटीन स्ट्रक्चर. इसके बाद द पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड. इसमें सबसे पहले पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड है. सो ये रहा हमारे पास पेप्टाइड अमीनो ग्रुप, कार्बोक्सिल reaction links many amino acids together into a polypeptide. Primary structure sequence of amino acids is bonded by peptide linkages. Diversity is 20N. Primary structure amino acid monomers are joined forming polypeptide chain. Secondary structure alpha helices hydrogen bonds between amino acid residues. ठीक है. Secondary structure में polypeptide chain may form alpha helices with beta plated sheets. Protein interaction, weak interaction, 3D structure. Ionic bonds occur between a charged R group on amino acids. Hydrogen bonds formed between two polar groups and two non-polar groups interact hydrophobically. ठीक है. Protein denaturation, heat, pH change, tertiary and secondary structures as well as biological function. Denaturing agents can disrupt the tertiary and secondary structure of a protein and destroy the protein's biological functions. ठीक है. नेगेटिव प्रोटीन है ये डीनेचर्ड प्रोटीन, सॉरी ये नेटिव प्रोटीन है और ये डीनेचर्ड प्रोटीन. सही. उसके बाद है केमिकल कंपोजिशन ऑफ प्रोटीन. मॉड्यूल नंबर 62. प्रोटीन्स आर पॉलीमर्स ऑफ अमीनो एसिड्स. दे रेंज इन साइज फ्रॉम small to very large. All proteins are made up of 20 different types of amino acids. So these amino acids are called stranded amino acids. In a protein molecule, each amino acid residue is joined to its neighbor by a specific type of covalent bond, which is called peptide bond. Amino acids can successively join to form dipeptide, tripeptide, tetrapeptide, oligopeptide, and polypeptides. Yes, amino acid structure. Amino group side chain, alpha carbon और carboxylic acid group. ये अगेन सारे अमीनो एसिड्स हैं. इसके बाद में हमारे पास है मॉड्यूल नंबर 63. प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ प्रोटीन. प्राइमरी स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ और कोवलेंट स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ प्रोटीन refers to the amino acid sequence of its polypeptide chain. Each type of protein has a unique amino acid sequence. Peptide bond is rigid and planar. They demonstrated that the peptide's carbon-nitrogen bond is somewhat shorter than the carbon-nitrogen bond in a simple amine. ठीक है. The six atoms of the peptide group are coplanar, lie in a single plane with the oxygen atom of the carboxyl group and the hydrogen atom of the amide nitrogen trans to each other. ठीक हो गया. पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड है और ये एमाइड प्लेन है. ठीक है. इसके बाद हमारे पास में Pauling and Corey concluded that the peptide carbon nitrogen bonds are unable to rotate freely because of their partial double bond character. Rotation is permitted about the N alpha carbon and the alpha carbon bonds. Okay. The bond angle resulting from rotations at C are labeled phi for the N and alpha carbon bond and p psi for the alpha carbon bond. In principle, phi and p psi can have any value between plus 180 to minus 180. ठीक है. तो मॉड्यूल नंबर 64 है सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ प्रोटीन. Secondary structure of protein refers to the local conformation of some part of a polypeptide. A few types of secondary structures are particularly stable and occur widely in proteins. The most prominent are alpha helix and beta conformation. ठीक है. Secondary protein structure, beta plated sheets और alpha helical structure. मॉड्यूल नंबर 65 में है अल्फा हेलिक्स. द सिंपलेस्ट अरेंजमेंट which a polypeptide chain could assume with its rigid peptide bonds is a helical structure which Pauling and Corey called the alpha helix. The helical twist of the alpha helix found in all proteins is right-handed. The repeating unit is a single turn of the helix which extends about 5.4 angstrom, includes 3.6 amino acid residues along the long axis. The amino acid residues in a helix have conformations with p psi -45 to -50 and 560. An helix makes optimal use of the internal hydrogen bonds. About 1/4 of all This is a more extended conformation of polypeptide chains. The backbone of the polypeptide chain is extended into a zigzag structure. The zigzag polypeptide chains are arranged side by side to form a structure resembling a series of plates. ठीक है. उसके बाद है the R group of adjacent amino acids protrude from the zigzag structure in opposite directions. Hydrogen bonds are formed between adjacent segments of polypeptide chains. The adjacent polypeptide chains in a sheet can be either parallel or anti-parallel. So, यहाँ तक हमारा क्विज का जो सिलेबस है वो कंप्लीट होता है. क्विज नंबर 2 का BIF 101 के क्विज नंबर 2 का सिलेबस था 26 to 66 टॉपिक. यहाँ तक हमने ये सारा का सारा रीड आउट भी कर लिया है. ठीक है. सो अब अगली वीडियो से MCQs वाला स्टेप